To foretell the destiny of a nation, it is necessary to open the book that tells of her part. As said by a wise man our country knows as Jose Rizal. Now, with a statement such as this, our people must remember that our progress is nothing without the foundations of our diverse society.
With our national origins tainted with Spanish and US imperialism, and in the subsequent wake of intense waves of cultural colonization, educated Filipinos are often at a loss about what their roots are.
To bring much needed clarity about what it means to be Filipino, one must provide a stage for our culture and heritage, both of which are at the brink of extinction due to modernization.
To create a space dedicated to preserving and showcasing various arts and talents that the Filipino people have. In light of this goal, our team has designed a museum with space created to house the current and future collection of the Cultural Center of the Philippines.
As we step forward in pursuing the arts, we as designers believe that the diversity of our culture deserve a creative site as its center stage. Thus, we bring you Yugtong Adman.
In an archipelago like the Philippines, it's no surprise that there is a large number of individual and distinct cultural practices per region and ethnic group.
And as the nation progresses, so does the art of our people. With influences from different local and international movements, today we are in the presence of countless works that leave us asking, what is Philippine arts and culture, and how do we make it accessible for the Filipino masses?
To address the problem, the team of designers unified each other's concepts to design the museum that celebrates the arts through fabricated spaces to recognize local artists.
The design also aims to allow our people to venture and immerse themselves into curated halls that provide glances into the diverse cultural archipelago and its regional specific art form.
By the end of it, we only want art to be revitalized into the local scene by offering a public access to all walks of life.
We begin with the user's arrival experience, therefore taking time to understand different site access. We first studied the flow of traffic to determine the best area or space for entrances that is most convenient and accessible in accordance to the traffic flow.
With Mississippi being a man-made area, the natural topography was stripped away, providing a flat site to work on. In fact, past constructions around the area made the soil even easier to work with because conditions were already set for foundation requirements. We also found out that the soil underneath is not stable due to frequent flooding. The site is also one of the places that are expected or most likely to sink due to rising sea levels. Lastly, the site has no direct link to main road Rojas Boulevard. We see this as an advantage because there is lesser chance of vehicular traffic and pedestrian traffic.
Before our team settled with the final concept for the museum project, we began by taking the subject and seeing it from different perspectives. Through one angle, a museum is a project that hones the authenticity of the Philippine culture and arts. Another will be that it is a venue for the collective uniqueness and exoticness of our country's culture. On the other hand, it had the potential to decorate itself with the tangible and intangible elements surrounding the art, culture, and life of indigenous people. But it could also be a design generated from the thread that interweaves us all as people, connecting each and everyone through a shared skill or passion. One understood that this project had the opportunity to hone the moment within on artwork, people, or a period in time. But at the end of the discussion, as a team, we understood that despite a variety of pieces and interpretations or iterations we could grasp when relating to a museum, a contemporary cultural museum is what we share as a goal to come up with. A stage that has the versatility and dignity to showcase and preserve our arts for the 21st century.
As designers, we began with different figures before settling with a triangular mass that could represent the three forms of art: literary, performative, and visual. The overall shape of the design included a connection between the 3 points at the edge of the form. By doing so, we intended to represent the interweaving forces that are present in our textiles, our culture, and society. By using this form, we were able to find the middle ground for maximizing the site for the building and the landscape design.
As for the building design, we began with a suitable elevated foundation to address any potential issues such as floods. We then expanded the form by increasing its elevation to cater to the need for multiple floors for several uses. Uses that included exhibits, utilities, offices, parking, vertical access, lobbies, and the like. Lastly, to provide a space that will be the heart of the museum, we incorporated a dome or an atrium in the form.
The site is featurelessly abstract, located in a developed area of the Cultural Center of the Philippines complex. After finalizing the concept for the museum, we then planned out the site to provide vehicular access across the site while passing through the museum to be a route for the parking lot or the entrance drop-off.
As we mentioned, we wanted to create a balance between the site, the building, and the surrounding greenery. So as a team, we decided to include landscaping at the northwest of the site to complement the facade, a sunken garden at the northeast for recreational activities, and a sculpture garden to adorn the southern side of the site. When designing the site, we wanted to address the potential disaster of floods. The sunken garden was specifically made to serve as a catch basin for any water that would become stagnant under normal circumstances. Through the pedestrian access across the southwest up to the north part of the site, visitors can access the front entrance and fountain, while the northeast pathways allow passage through the sunken garden and into the commercial zone of the site.
The facade was inspired by an abstract geometry of textiles from different ethnicities in the country. Construction-wise, the facade was built with reinforced concrete and complemented with a warm shade of composite wood cladding. With these materials, durability and sustainability is achieved.
On the south is the sculpture garden that serves as a venue for local artists to showcase their works that can vary from traditional to contemporary. On the other side, a sunken garden is provided for a relaxing experience for users before proceeding to the commercial area of the museum.
After passing through one of the several entrances across the ground floor, the lobby is the first place a visitor experiences in the museum. We intended the lobby to feel welcoming and inclusive for all visitors. It must offer a relaxing energy, in direct contrast to the busy midtown area where our museum is in proximity to. Our lobby reflects the museum's mission as a place for art. It includes an easy-to-spot information desk at the left side of the lobby upon entering. The multiple entrances into the lobby and the vertical transport choices from the lobby are designed to feel welcoming and provide just enough information to the visitor so that they can feel comfortable and in control of where they are headed, yet general enough to give a visitor a sense of anticipation and excitement for the art to come.
The dome enclosed is to captivate the user's intimate relation to the exhibits and displays and have a more induced view of each of them. The wood material in its form articulate the rawness and exoticness of the Philippine culture and its natural resources.
Among our driving forces in this project is to focus on the objective of revitalizing Philippine art and culture. The art of conservation and the challenge of nurturing local art is introduced to the public eye. By providing a workshop, we provide an opportunity for individuals to create and understand art. This workshop serves as a platform for the public eye to connect with various craftsmen. Philippine art and culture are not just meant to be observed, but to understand, create, and experience it is essential.
In our pursuit to immerse our visitors into exhibits, we want them to create moments and memories full of awe that will be embedded in their experience in our museum. This is why we saw that an interactive museum was an ideal means of combining art and technology to create an entirely new wonder for them. With this, we are offering more than just halls full of art, but a rebranded state of engagement and interaction.
Since we've dedicated this entire design to all art forms, it's important to provide a space for literature and education. The library offers a large assortment of information that visitors can browse through and study.
As for the souvenir shop, we included it so that art can be experienced beyond the walls of the museum and into the households of the visitors. We believe that beyond all the responsibility that art museum stores have, stores are just a great way to keep visitors hanging around a little longer and interacting with the art.
We also provided a space that transitions from the ground to the upper floor that serves as the vertical co-working spaces which will connect to the mezzanine. The mezzanine provides a perspective of the ground floor from a higher point of view so that visitors can see the vastness of the lobby.
When our team was designing around the spaces for the mezzanine, we decided to include the lounge area and the cafe to allow visitors to take the time to enjoy and admire not just the interior of the museum but also the view outside.
The theme of the exhibit spaces revolves around the idea of a window. A window is an opening to see through outside and vice versa. It is also about transparency and luminosity. A window lets light in. It is translucent yet still allows privacy. Lastly, we also give importance to patterns, but not restricted to simple shapes. We also explore flow and movements. In a brief way, the functional program of the third floor is dedicated to being flexible in terms of layout. It is designed for present and future artworks.
Museums require a greater variety of workspaces than the average corporate office. The administration of the museum requires a separate space for handling paperwork and official transaction in relation to the internal and external activities of the institution. Besides that, we also saw that the lecture hall would be substantial for the admin to conduct academic lectures with any of the in-house historical and cultural pieces. Plus, most museums need clean spaces for the storage and handling of collection objects. Conserving ancient relics of art and anthropological pieces require additional facilities to work with. This is why, as designers, we provided a laboratory that was equipped with all necessary facilities for such tasks. When we, as a team, were planning out the spaces for the interior, we wanted to ensure a delightful means of circulation from one zone to another. We wanted to show what Build the Bridge meant by creating a symbolic and functional design for expressing the act of establishing a relationship to foster understanding and appreciation of our cultural differences. In this sense, we used this as a design that would welcome visitors into the next room, which was the auditorium.
Yugtong Adman's theater was designed around the idea that the performative arts deserve the grand stage. By providing this, we provide visitors with an opportunity to witness and engage themselves in the performance.
When designing our museum, we opted to install solar panels to reduce the building's carbon footprint. This was necessary to achieve the environmental pillar of sustainability by addressing the climate impact of the building through its energy consumption.
Another important feature to the design were the drip edges installed that protects the building's exterior walls from water damage. We also collect the rainwater through a system of interior gutters that start from catch basins on the roof.
Now the question is, why Yugtong Adman?
Yugto means stage, Adman being the Waray word for knowledge. In short, we decided to create a venue that could house and serve as a stage for the knowledge that is interwoven into arts. We want to encapsulate the multiple facets of Filipino culture of the past and present for the indulgence of the future.